Yeah, that's going to be difficult. I don't know. I mean, but hopefully it's going to be. Are we going to wear masks on campus, or we're going to be? I mean, it's very strange for me.
Not so clear. I mean, the management are insisting that all students come back, so it would be residential again. But they're also talking about a hybrid mode of teaching, which
Yeah.
doesn't quite make sense, either one or the other. If they're there, we don't need that. If they're not there, you do. But
Yeah.
well, the problem we found is that many parents are a bit resistant.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yes.
Not the students themselves. Most of them like to be back on campus. Some have never been on campus.
Exactly. So I see that people have been joining us.
Yes,
Hello.
namaste sir, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, John Clammer sir, namaskar.
Good to see you all. Good to see you.
Yeah, I don't know anyone.
Uh,
I'm very new to this group.
we welcome you on behalf of SOHSS Chakra sir.
Okay. Wonderful. Which universities are you from?
I'm from Raffles University, Neela. It's a private university.
Okay.
Yes. And we are nurturing every day some talk, and particularly every Sunday. It is a platform called SOHSS Chakra, Circle for Co-Learning. It is a part of Vishwaneedam Center for Asian Blossoming.
Yeah. Maybe I try to push my computer a little so you can have a better image.
Welcome, Professor Neela Bhattacharya, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Professor Saxena.
Hello, how are you?
Fine,
Salam.
thank you.
Happy to join you, even though it's a little early here.
Thank you. All right.
Hello.
Hello, Ananta.
Hello. Assalamualaikum, Ramin.
Assalamu alaikum. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Namaskar, Niladi. Namaskar, Mira. Sushri, Randhir. And our dear friend John.
Yeah, John is here. I was talking to him.
So, কেমন আছেন Niladi? It's just Antrik moment. Happy moment. Konnichiwa. John, konnichiwa.
Hello, Ananta. Good to see you again.
Konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Arigato gozaimasu.
He's practicing his Japanese.
They're teasing me after 2 years there. I forget my English. words sometimes just won't come.
That is the idea that Ramin is talking about, epistemic humility.
Yes, exactly. So are we waiting for someone?
Yes, we'll start the session after 4 p.m. Many of our participants will join from Facebook Live also.
Okay.
So, dear and respected friends, welcome. And we are going to start today's session with an invocation of a song. So let me just share the screen. Thank you so much for your kind attention, dear and respected friend. First of all, I welcome you. I, Randhir Kumar Gautam, on behalf of our Professor and Vice Dean, Jindal Global University, Sonepat. Session, Professor Kumar Giri from Madras Institute of Development Studies. I welcome respected discussants, Professor John Clammer, Jindal Global University, Sonepat, Professor Neela Bhattacharya Saxena from Nassau Community College, New York, Professor Jahanbegloo, Professor Mira Chakravarti Madam, and all the respected participants, viewers, listeners, both on Facebook platform and also on Zoom platform. First, I would like to give a kind of brief introduction to Honorable Speaker, Dr. Ramin Jahanbegloo is an Iranian Canadian philosopher, a profound thinker, and the author of more than 28 books. He is also activist. April 2006, Professor Rahim was arrested at Tehran airport and charged with preparing a tablet revolution in Iran. He was held in solitary confinement for 4 months. He is currently professor and vice dean at OP Jindal Global University. He is the winner of the Peace Prize from the United Nations Association in Spain 2009 for his extensive academic work in promoting intercultural dialogue and advocacy of non-violence. There are many significant books such as The Spirit of India, which was published in 2008, the Gandhian movement, which was published in 2013, The Decline of Civilization, Why We Need to Return to Gandhi and Tagore, Letters to a Young Philosopher, which was published in 2017. Today, our talk is centered around his new book, Maxima Moralia, Meditations on the Otherness of the Others. First, we are so grateful that Sir has accepted our invitation. I would like to give a brief introduction to our SOHSS Chakra, Core Learning Circle of Self and Mutual Studies. SOHSS Chakra is an initiative of studying and learning together self, culture, societies and the world. Friends associated with this are eager to walk and mediate with the new horizons of thinking and new movements of social and cultural change at work in our contemporary world. We study seekers such as Sri Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Chittaranjan Das, a creative soul and creative thinker from Odisha, and many others from around the world. We also present our own writings and reflect upon our creativity together. We also invite seekers from different fields of life to share with us their lives, vision, sadhana and a struggle for creating a world of beauty, dignity and dialogue. We meet every Sunday or sometimes on Wednesday also. We are now nurturing this intercultural talk with the help of School of Humanities and Social Science of Raffles University and Rage Global Foundation, USA. With this brief introduction, Now I would like to invite our mentor, Professor Anand Kumar Giri sir, to kindly moderate today's session.
Thank you so much, dear Randhir. Thank you, dear Ramin, John, and Neela for being co-present with us this afternoon. And welcome to all present. It is a gifted afternoon today, as we have the gift of presence and Ramin, Professor Ramin Jahanbegloo, a deep thinker and seeker of all times. I remember us meeting with Ramin in his welcoming office at University of Nassau in 2008, and that was the moment when he had just come out of the gift of the prison, and he showed me the book of poetry that he had composed while he was in the prison. And Maxima Moralia is a very different kind of engagement and invitation to life. And I have prepared a little introduction. So with your generosity, I will just present it. I hope you can see it, please.
Yes, sir.
So Maxima Moralia, an introduction and invitation to Ramya, Indo-Persian Planetary Sutra. Because as you read this book, we are again invited to a different mode of being and philosophy. What in India we call as sutra, a very deep meditative phrase which really opens up many windows and horizons. We can begin this conversation, this line from Sri Aurobindo, where towards the very end of Sri Aurobindo's epic Savitri is telling to the sage, awaken to the meaning of my heart, that to feel love and oneness is to live, and this is the magic of our golden change, is all the truth I know or seek or say. Coming to Ramin's book, and he really presents us many deep threads, thoughts, sutras and meditations. For example, beginning with these lines from his preface, we humans have lost all contact with the biodiversity of the planet Earth. For the first time in our common history, empathy and compassion are no more parts of our civilizational upbringing. He goes on to say, even if I possess the whole world and I have no love, I am nothing. Nothing is closer to our essence than love, which is the foundation of our being. Then another sutra, Satyagraha is the moral authority to say no to homogeneity and to say yes to plurality and diversity. It is a commitment to non-violence and truth in the name of the otherness of the other. And he goes on to write, let us not forget that in times of darkness, non-violence is the maxima moralia of humanity. Therefore, to understand the theme of his book, Maxima Moralia, I think there is a deep connection to love and non-violence. Thinking non-violence in a world of meaninglessness that would dismiss and banish all forms of originality and independent-mindedness is the only way to restore the nobility and greatness of human spirit. When he writes, empathy is the sole source of morality against all forms of monism and exclusionary belief systems. He also writes, what we need today is a sense of epistemic humility, which can learn not only from humankind's biological and ontological fragility, but also from the fact that we are in need of companionship and recognition. And then This is also a very profound invitation. Let us be clear. The technological revolution in the past 100 years was not accompanied by a spiritual change. Modern man has been wandering in obscurity because it suffers from a spiritual failure, while it cannot throw light upon its future. However, humankind has become totally a stranger to the logic of life. So as we read Maxima Moralia, so we are invited to realize a different vocation of philosophy, what can be called as a non-philosophical vocation of philosophy. And I used to share this poem, non-philosophical vocation of philosophy, building thoughts, writing poems, and new dances of life. Non-philosophical vocation of philosophy, revitalizing philosophy in a non-philosophical way, building huts of philosophy on the earth and in the sky. Wittgenstein leaving Cambridge and building a hut near Bergen in Norway. Heidegger living in a hut in Black Forest while lecturing at Freiburg in Discussants. Gandhi living Sabarmati and building a hut in Sadagram. Gandhi and Wittgenstein building huts with their own hands, singing songs of history, war and peace. Heidegger does not use his hands to build the hut. He lives in a hut built by others. He does not write poems himself. He philosophizes with the poetry of Hölderlin. Wittgenstein wishes his philosophy was poetry, does not write poetry himself. As he reads Tagore's poems and translates his drama, Gandhi does not write poems like Tagore, but his life becomes an epic poem. Philosophy in a non-philosophical way, being human, realizing the limits of the human, listening to the songs of birds, becoming birds and birds of philosophy, a non-philosophical philosophy with and beyond forms towards new waves, threads and dances of life. And finally, as listening is a deep value that Ramin cultivates in this book as part of Maxima Moralia. So this poem, a festival of listening, deep listening, listening to the body, listening to the soul, listening to the air, listening to water, listening to earth, listening to akasa, listening to other, listening to self, a festival of listening with silence and music, integrating what we listen to an evolutionary becoming. And this poem is dedicated to Professor Claire Dallmayr, who is also an inspiring star in such a philosophical and our soul's engagement with life, philosophy, and the world. So now it is with great joy I invite Ramin to kindly make his presentation, which would be accompanied by the thoughts from Professor John Clammer and Professor Neela Bhattacharya Saxena. Ramin, please.
Thank you very much. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers and especially to my friend Professor Ananta Giri for inviting me to speak in this panel. I have been asked to share with you the principal points and ideas that I have discussed in my recent book, Maxima Moralia, which will be published by Routledge in March 2022. Let me begin by saying that there are 2 points that I wish to underline in relation to this book. First, Maxima Moralia is a philosophical book, but written in an aphoristic style. So that's point number 1. As you know, aphoristic style is a compact and condensed style of writing, which was practiced in 17th century, 18th century, 19th century by philosophers and by writers We have many actually examples of great thinkers, mostly European, I would say, which have used aphorism. We have Larouche, the French moralist. We have Lichtenberg,